Baseball's tribute to Tommy John has stretched well beyond a single team or a single generation this week, and the family has now confirmed exactly how they plan to say their final goodbye. John died Saturday night, August 16th, at his home in Bradenton, Florida at the age of 83, according to his agent Mike McGuire. He'd been in hospice care at the time of his death, and according to MLB had recently undergone treatment related to a recurrence of bladder cancer. His family confirmed a private celebration of life will be held in Florida, with no public service planned. In lieu of flowers, they've asked that donations be directed instead to the Duke University Medical Fund, a request that quietly reflects John's own decades-long relationship with medicine, given how central Dr. Frank Jobe's groundbreaking elbow surgery was to the rest of his life and career. The Yankees, the team most closely associated with his legacy, released a formal statement mourning his passing, calling him a bedrock of their rotation during his years in pinstripes and a longtime favorite among fans. The team specifically noted that while his remarkable longevity and post-surgery achievements changed the fortunes and trajectory of countless athletes worldwide, that same story sometimes overshadowed just how good a pitcher he already was, pointing to his back-to-back 20-win seasons in New York as proof. The Yankees extended their deepest condolences to his wife, Cheryl, his daughter Tamara, and his sons, Tommy III and Travis, adding a personal note remembering his son Taylor as well. The statement closed by saying the organization was pausing to remember the totality of his legacy, his competitiveness and skill on the mound, his penchant for conversation, his kind and gracious nature off it, and his stature as both an athletic and medical pioneer. Tributes from around the baseball world followed almost immediately. Yankees pitcher Gerrit Cole, who underwent Tommy John surgery himself in 2025, reflected on what John's original gamble meant for pitchers who came generations after him. Cole said the first thing that came to mind was how much of a trailblazer John had been, venturing into the unknown with an experimental surgery, and effectively writing the script for how to push through it and find success on the other side. Former pitcher and current Mets broadcaster Keith Hernandez remembered him on air simply as a great pitcher and a man of faith, calling him a wonderful man who'd be missed, and adding that he believed John belonged in the Hall of Fame, promising to keep advocating for his induction. Dr. Ahmad, head team physician for both the Yankees and New York City FC, shared his own tribute on social media, writing that John's courage had changed baseball and transformed sports medicine, giving generations of injured athletes real hope. He added that few people had shaped his own life and career more profoundly, closing simply with a wish that John rest in peace and a promise that the game would never forget him. Former Athletics minor league pitcher Jeff Urlaub echoed that sentiment, thanking John directly for saving countless pitchers' careers, including his own, and writing that players carry their surgical scars daily as a reminder of the risk John was willing to take on their behalf. John's death came just about a week after he'd shared what turned out to be his own farewell message to fans, posted by the Yankees during the team's 78th Old Timers Day. In it, he thanked the organization, the Steinbrenner family, his former teammates, and the fans who'd followed him across his 26-year career, saying goodbye to everyone who'd supported him along the way. He also paid tribute by name to Dr. Frank Jobe, the surgeon whose experimental 1974 elbow reconstruction saved his career and eventually thousands of others who followed in his footsteps. That farewell now reads as something closer to a final goodbye than anyone realized at the time, arriving just days before he entered hospice care and, ultimately, before his death. John's career spanned 26 seasons and 6 teams: Cleveland, the Chicago White Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Yankees, the California Angels, and the Oakland Athletics, producing 288 career wins, a 3.34 ERA, and 4 All-Star selections in 1968, 1978, 1979, and 1980. But it's the surgery bearing his name that transformed him into a permanent fixture of baseball history well beyond his own statistics. Today, players across the sport, from Shohei Ohtani to Jacob deGrom, owe their careers in part to the procedure John was willing to gamble on when the odds of success were estimated at roughly 1 in 100. For a man whose name is invoked constantly across the sport, often by fans and broadcasters who may not even fully know the story behind it, John's family has chosen to mark his passing quietly and gratefully, asking only that those wishing to honor him do so by supporting medical research rather than gathering in public mourning.